Squawk to the squawk, my fellow sorrowers. First of all, I just want to say that I'm a very sorry sorrow. Very, 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 very sorry sorrow. I am seeing the comments that all of you are sending, and I will be, as I've said before, many a time, I will be conversing, corresponding. I always will, I always do. Okay, I'm not one of them. I'm one of you. So I will make the effort always. At the moment, I'm just having one thing after the other. All good, no bad things, but things that I need to address so that they don't become bad. I'm finally being given access to see my son. Um, Work's burnt me out a bit, so every time I've had the chance to reply to what I've been reading, I have been reading them all. Um, I just want you all to know that you are. Yeah, every time I've had that chance, I haven't had the capacity in me, if that makes sense. You're worth um, all my strength and my focus and my attention and my interest, rather than me going, all right, yeah, that'll do. I don't want to do that to you. So, you know, it's worth the wait, let's say, or at least to me, you're worth the wait. Just hope I am. Yeah, so I do apologise. Very sorry, sorrow to Good Morning Tribulation, Claire A, Neil, Pip. I love you all. I'm sorry. Won't be too soon now. Okay, just getting my gears together so they grind right. Saying that, let's let loose a bit, shall we? Tighten the noose.
When it comes to complying with rules and restrictions, the government says we're more lax than some of our continental counterparts. So as coronavirus cases increase, expect to hear tougher messages.
Okay, this seat is not in use. Okay, they're not putting this out there, but it's there anyway. The seat is not in use. Okay, well that's the same as saying the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist, because the throne's there, but we can't see who's sitting in it, right? Whether that be the creator, you and I see it, we know it, we feel it, but most don't because they can't see it. You see what I'm saying? Same rules apply in the negative, which would be Satan. Okay?
On enforcement. The Health Secretary says we're at tipping point.
If everybody follows the rules, then we can avoid.
Look at the background. Yellow and pink, sex and violence.
Further national lockdowns, but
it didn't have to be them colours. It didn't, did it?
We, of course, have to be prepared.
There's no blue, there's no red, there's no green. Get all these colours in the sunset, if that's what they're trying to pull off here.
To take action if that's what's necessary. We might be facing a further national lockdown.
Ma, backwards is ram, okay? That's what that is.
That's exactly right. I don't rule it out. I don't want to see it.
And ram is, of course, Baphomet, which is Saturn, which is Satan. Is your bike, your bicycle, your bicycle, same thing, Chronos, Grim Reaper, okay?
For a week from now in England, if you don't self-isolate when you should, you could face an initial fine of £1,000, up to £10,000.
I see duality. They like getting Halifax in there as well. Any banks they can, really. Okay? Well, I've covered this before, you know, right?
The Health Secretary says we should tell the police if we see rule breakers, but in London, not everyone would take that advice.
That whole thing of telling on your neighbour, I think breaking up community is the last thing that should be encouraged.
Okay, so that statement is absolutely and utterly and entirely and completely and sincerely true in my book. Okay, but it isn't in theirs. So when they're throwing it out there, you have to be prepared for what they're going to say next. Okay, because it's just they're telling a dog to roll over and play dead at the same time. You don't know what the fuck to do. Okay, so what's coming?
Hefty fine in place or something like that, people would maybe toe the line a bit better.
The chief medical officer.
See, don't fine us. No, sorry, don't. So don't grass. And next thing is fine us instead. Yeah, it's a manoeuvring concept. You see them little archontic spiders down here? What the fuck? Why would they need to be there? Why?
People would
Maybe
if not part of the dark architecture.
I'm a bit better.
the chief medical officer on his way to number.
Look. Wow, man. You know? They've got the real worms up here that I've shown you before, and of course the black sun.
10 today. He and the government's scientific advisors have been pushing for swift action to slow the virus.
You see, it dates back to, Hades with Cerberus, you know, the three-headed dog, canine, yeah, that's right. You know, guarding the doors. There was always something guarding the doors, you know. It also ties into Choronzon. Yeah, I won't add the last part. The reason Thomas Sheridan doesn't. Yeah, guards the door, right? So them two little scuttlers down there, it's not by accident.
Virus is spread.
Scuttlers was a term, what's his name? Alex Spears used to use. I think it's Alex. A few have, but yeah.
The Prime Minister's been in top-level meetings to discuss his options, but he's also under pressure from his next-door neighbour, the Chancellor, who doesn't want to see a fragile economic recovery killed off. So it is likely that we'll see new temporary measures across England, but that these will also fall far short of a full national lockdown.
What a Canaanite. Okay, hang on. Oh yeah. So 212 in orange, yeah, for 33. That's not by accident either, because 212 is 33. Okay, it's the mirroring aspect. So you've got Bill taught me this one. So they start with a three-digit number. Take the number in the middle. One way it's 1 and 2, which is 3, and the other way it's 1 and 2, which is 3. 33.
In local lockdowns seem set to spread across England.
I like getting Red Bull in there as well. The ball is Bale. Okay. Oh, sorry, Moloch. Moloch. Of course. Same shit. Different Kazi.
Labour say they
2 3's 33.
will support whatever new steps the government takes, but
If I was the Prime Minister, I would apologise for the fact that we're in this situation with testing. Throughout summer, we were saying prepare for the autumn. Instead, we had the exams fiasco. I would make.
See how they show you the fun? Always showing you the thumbs. Yeah? It's a part of their way of saying, you know, this is under our control. They think we're under the thumb. You can't be under the thumb if you fucking cut it off, can you?
Fixing testing the number one priority and reinstate the daily press conferences so we all know what's going on.
this is Boris Johnson's key advisor, Dominic Cummings, leaving Downing Street tonight after a long series of meetings.
Boring. Sorry, guys.
Rules.
Boring.
The latest government figures show the daily number of new infections remains high, with 3,899 cases recorded.
Okay, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You're 91, left-hand path.
For the previous 24 hours. That means the average number of new cases per day in the last week was 3,679. The daily hospital numbers have also risen. 233 people were admitted on September the 18th. That figure does not include Scotland. There were
7, 8, 18, yes, you got your 666. Bingo, it's also 9, which is why they like 666. The Fema 9.
18 deaths of people who had tested positive for COVID-19 in the previous 28 days. On average, in the last week, there were 21 such deaths
3 for Saturn.
per day.
Bingo!
And that takes the total number across the UK
To 5 for death and 777 for your Lima. Alistair Crowley. Golden Dawn Association.
41,777.
Of course it was.
Ministers are meanwhile closely watching COVID cases elsewhere in Europe and the measures being taken in other countries. Our health correspondent Catherine Burns reports. The intensive care.
Now, I don't know about you, but I find this to be of utmost creepiness. Okay? See what I'm seeing? Because I thought, oh, well, obviously, these are the hands of this tear here, right? And this one belongs to someone behind this tear here, yeah? Okay. But this bit that looks like another person is not. It's this bit. You see that? It's part of the suit. This is all part of the same suit worn by the same tear. So why the fuck does it have multiple limbs?
Unit in Marseille, one of the worst. Correspondent Catherine Burns reports. The intensive care unit in Marseille, one of the worst.
What is going on there? I'm not even surprised at this point. I'm really not. How many deformities and defects have I shown you all? How many? And they're the ones I've found myself, let alone the ones that you find from, Divine Truth, for example, or Dominican. Yeah? It's mad. It's mental because I used to. When you see it yourself, it can't really be denied. You know what I'm saying? In that sense, seeing is believing. Yeah? But if you don't believe that you can see it, you never will. And that's why no one does.
Affected areas of France, a familiar sight across the world in.
That's a dummy, okay? Ironically, me mentioning Divine Truth, a lot of these videos on COVID are that of dummies being used over the drink in the States. Yeah, they're using a lot. Well, they were. I'm sure they still are. They don't need to now. But yeah, it's a fucking dummy. Why would they let it fall like that? The trained nurses and doctors.
One of the worst affected areas of France, a familiar sight across.
Squawk. You know what I mean? Like, no, you just wouldn't do it, would you?
Marseille.
Even with, especially if you've got 3 arms. Bloody hell, 3 arms.
Correspondent Catherine Burns reports.
You got 3 arms and you can't carry a patient properly. You can't put them down properly. They've put down enough already. Don't you think they're going to be putting down a lot more when they release that vaccine? So don't you release that vaccine in you.
The intensive care unit in Marseille, one of the worst affected areas of France, familiar sight across the world.
Ow! Why